Are you a business owner or employee who needs to network but is terrified of walking into a room full of people you don't know? Are you afraid of being left out of conversations or being awkward in the conversations you do have? Your tour guide, Faithann, is here to walk alongside you through the networking terrain, offering tips and tricks to network with ease. Grab your sunscreen and suitcase. Faithann is ready. Are you?
Welcome, new and returning listeners. I'm your host, Faith Ann, the Networker's Tour Guide. You've found the place to get your networking questions answered one episode at a time. This episode is another solo episode, and it was inspired by a question that one of the members in Premium OKC Networking, that's my online networking platform, asked. So, Premium OKC Networking is the place where local Oklahoma City networkers can find the places to connect through my vetted networking calendar. It's also the place where they can ask questions in the discussion forum, they can put their offers in the discussion forum, and there's a learning tab that has both courses and places where the members can watch videos about the organizations that are on my calendar. So every organization that's on my calendar as an event has a corresponding video where I talk to the founder or the leader of that organization about what their meeting is like. The goal of Premium OKC Networking was to create a place where people, business owners, and nonprofits who wanted to connect in Oklahoma City would have one easy place to do it. In the discussion forum this week, a question came up. One of the members had seen a Facebook post from somebody, a business owner, I'm assuming, who was frustrated because she was running into a lot of competition in her networking meetings. So, more than one person was doing what she does, and she was feeling frustrated. This member posted in the forum and tagged me and said, "What do you recommend for this frustrated person?" So I thought that would be a great subject for this week's episode. Let's pretend that I had a client come to me in a networking coaching session. So let's call this client Beth. And this is very something I would absolutely help somebody do in a coaching session. And Beth came to me, and Beth is frustrated because she is a photographer, and the networking meetings she's attending, she's finding that there are at least two photographers in every room that she's in, and she's frustrated, feeling insecure, feeling doubtful about her abilities, feeling like there's no way she can ever set herself apart, there's no way she's ever going to receive any referrals, and she's about to quit, and someone has referred her to me. So this is the place that I would start with Beth, my imaginary client. I would have some strategies that she could use, and we would go through each one, and I'm going to tell you what those are. I would start, though, with her mindset. That's where I would start. That's going to be the most helpful because we don't know which option is going to be available for her, and different options are available to different people, but not all of the things that I would suggest are going to be available to everyone. This one thing, though, that I'm going to tell her to think about is available to all business owners who network. So let's imagine I'm talking to Beth. I'm going to say, "Beth, do you remember when the fairy godmother came to Cinderella? Cinderella's face is in her hands and she's distraught. She doesn't know how she's going to get to the ball. Her wicked stepsisters are doing their wicked stepsister things or have just done them. She gives Cinderella that beautiful blue gown. She has the black choker necklace, the blue headband. Her hair is up in a beautiful bun. She has the light baby blue gloves, and she's ready to get in the coach and go to the ball." And in my version of Cinderella, the fairy godmother accompanies Cinderella to the ball. So Cinderella and the fairy godmother arrive at the ball, and Cinderella's so excited because now she's there. Maybe she'll have a chance to dance with the prince. And lo and behold, she notices that there are three other young maidens, and they have the exact dress that she's wearing. They have the exact black choker necklace. They have the exact blue headband. Their hair is the same color. They have the same blue eyes. They have the same glass slippers, the light blue gloves. And Cinderella begins to panic. And Fairy Godmother sees the problem. And Fairy Godmother says, "Oh, I thought I had this territory. I thought it was exclusive to me. There must be a problem upstairs. Maybe some paperwork didn't go through. I thought it was exclusive, but turns out there's more than one of me in this area going around making young maidens' dreams come true." So Fairy Godmother is quick on her feet and she says, "Hey, I see there's a problem here. Let's go find a little room that we can go into in this palace, and I'll make quick work. We're going to fix you right up, Cinderella. Don't you worry." And Cinderella says, "Oh, okay. Oh, thank goodness." So they find this little room to sneak away in, and the fairy godmother goes do 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 again, and completely changes her dress, and gives her a diamond necklace instead of the black choker, and puts her hair down and curls it. Different gloves. Has to keep the same slippers because those are magical. And the fairy godmother looks at the masterpiece and is satisfied. And Cinderella is looking longingly at fairy godmother, blinking her eyes and fluttering her eyes up and down, looking at her expectantly. And fairy godmother says, "What's wrong?" And she said, "They all have blue eyes. Did you change my eye color too?" And fairy godmother says, "Well, I'm in training still. You know, senior fairy godmother, if she was here, she could make your eyes turn a different color, but she's busy and she doesn't like it when I bother her after hours, and we are definitely in after hours. Cinderella, I changed your dress and your gloves and your hair and your necklace. I changed all of that. I can't change your eye color yet. I've got a few years of training still before I can do that, but Cinderella, you don't need different eyes. You are already different. You are strikingly different right now in this beautiful pink chiffon gown and your white lace gloves. And your hair is just resting beautifully on your shoulders, and you've got just enough curl, not too kinky curly, but just flowing locks on your shoulders. Your necklace is just beautiful, and you're different." And so Cinderella says, "Are you sure?" And Fairy Godmother says, "Yes, I'm absolutely sure. Just because your eyes are blue and these other fair maidens' eyes are blue doesn't make a bit of difference. Go out there, get your happily ever after. Your Prince Charming is waiting for you." So that's my version of Cinderella if my client, Beth, were coming to me stressed out and worried over competition. Moral of the story: the fact that you are a photographer is a facet of what you do. It is not you. Your identity is not completely wrapped up in the fact that you're a photographer or you're whatever. You are unique and special, and you are a powerful problem solver, not because you registered your name of your company with your Secretary of State and because you have a logo and a website and a Facebook page and a wrapped vehicle. That's not what makes you a photographer. It's you. It's the unique perspective, the unique eye, the unique experience that you bring to those people who work with you. So instead of fixating on the eye color like Cinderella did in my story, here's what's different and unique that is not capable of being Xeroxed. The kind of conversations that you can have with those people in the room can't be mimicked by anybody else in the room because you bring a unique perspective to your interactions, to your conversations. The one-to-ones that you have with the people in the room to explain to them what kind of referrals you are looking for are unique to you. The referrals that you are going to bring to the people in the room are special and unique because the people in your life are different than the people in other people's lives. The rapport that you're going to build with the people in the room is unique to you and the person that you're building the rapport with. Rapport universally is something, but it's nuanced with every person, and it's not the same thing that make us attracted to other people. It's a feeling, but how we get that feeling is different for each person. We are not robots. So the title photographer is one piece of a total picture of a person in the room. We network with people, people who happen to have these various titles, but our identities are not wrapped up in our titles. They shouldn't be. That's what I would tell my client is think of your competition not as, oh no, there's another photographer. Oh no, there's two other photographers. If we want a competition, we want a race to positive interactions. It's a race to positive interactions. Enough positive interactions with the people in the room that they say, I can trust Beth. I trust Beth with my family's photos. I trust Beth with my mother's photos. And it may be that there's nothing that you can replicate from this other person if this other photographer gets someone else's business and you've done everything that you can do. There's just some kind of something in that other photographer that drew that person to the other photographer that you have no control over. You have total control over the questions that you ask people to build rapport, the giving mentality that you have to build relationships in the room. That's you. Whether there's a photographer in the room with you or the room is full of photographers, the interactions that you have with those people in the room are going to be unique to you because you are unique. One of the very first indications that I had that networking was working for Window Cleaning Plus is that when people would ask for window cleaning recommendations, so many people would tag me. Sometimes our business would get tagged, but most of the time they were tagging me. You need to talk to Faithann. And I think that would have been true even if there were other window cleaners in the room. It's not that I'm better, it's that I, from day one in networking, the one thing I wanted to do was to spread the good news about Window Cleaning Plus. Whether anyone used me or not, I just wanted other people to know about our great business. And I wanted to meet the caliber of people, of the people in the room. I knew I was surrounded by wonderful, high quality people in the room, and I wanted to strive to meet the professionalism that I was surrounded by. I wanted to give to the people in the room. I felt like I had been given the jersey, the major league jersey, and I didn't want to disappoint. So I didn't go in to my networking situation just crossing off days. Oh, here's another day. No referral for Faithann. This isn't working. Oh, here's another day. I didn't get a referral. This isn't working. Oh, here's another day. I didn't go into it like that. I went in excited and learned more and more the longer I was in these rooms about who I wanted to emulate. And I grew as a person. Our business grew as a business. And I don't mean just financially, I mean just we got better and better because we were surrounded by good quality people. And we learned how to give. And I learned how to find referrals for other people. And I always get just as excited about a referral for somebody else as I do when I receive one. In fact, I think I get more excited when I can give a referral.
Hey, networkers! If you want your next one-to-one to go beyond swapping business cards, Faithann's got something for you. She created a free resource called 10 Questions to Ask in a One-to-One. It's packed with thoughtful questions that help you get to know someone and leave a lasting impression. Click on the 10 Questions link in the show notes and download this resource today.
There are a couple of strategies that I would then say, Beth, here's some things that you can do if it's really bothering you that you want less competition. You can't always have less competition. You can't completely insulate yourself from rooms where you're not the only photographer, but you are the only person that's might ask that lawn care person who just started his business 6 months ago, what are you most proud of in your business? And he's going to remember that. You may be the only person that does that. You may be the person that sends that lawn care person a referral, and you may invite him to a mastermind that you are going to go to. You may invite him to a lunch and learn, and you start building some rapport. Now you're his person. When he wants his company 6 months later has grown and he has 2 employees, and now you're his person because of what you have done. You have done because you are unique and you are a powerful problem solver. Here are a couple of things you can do. If you want less competition, you can look for an industry exclusive group to join. There are costs involved in industry exclusive groups, so that would be something you'd need to consider. It's a good recommendation. Industry exclusive means you would be the only photographer. There's one photographer, one realtor, one painter, so one industry per member. Just because, though, you are the only photographer doesn't mean that you sit back and relax and wait for referrals to just come to you. You still have to prove yourself. You still have to build the rapport and the trust and the credibility with the members before they are going to trust you with their referrals. You can look for an industry exclusive group to join. The other roadblock sometimes for those industry exclusive groups is that your seat may be hard to find. It may be hard to find a realtor seat in an industry exclusive group, a financial planner. That seat is hard to find in an industry exclusive group. Insurance agents are, those seats fill up quickly in an industry exclusive group. So there's your roadblock there, possibly. The other thing you could do is if you want to join an industry exclusive group and you can't find a seat, you start your own group. I have a couple of relationships with people right now who are trying to do that. So that's the exact thing that's driving them to start their own group is they can't find one to join, so they are starting their own. It's a lot of hard work to start one, but it is a possibility, and I should say, and it's a real strategy. If you want to do that, you can, and I'm happy to sit down and have a call with you if you want to see if we might work together for me to help you start a group. Now, if you aren't able to start your own, you're not able to join a group because of financial reasons, or you can't find a seat and you don't have capacity in your life to start a group, here's something else you can do. If the meetings that you're participating in, the organizations you're participating in, have a paid upgrade, like it's open to all, and there are these specific things within the organization that you can participate in for an additional fee or a fee, I would participate in those. So maybe it's a directory that you pay to be in, or it's maybe you get a little bit longer time to talk. Maybe you can have 5 minutes, but it's something you pay for. So it's not quite as expensive as an industry exclusive group. And it's a way for you to get more exposure, and it shows the other members that you're serious about the group because you're willing to put money towards more exposure. So you're more committed than those people who come and don't put anything into the group, like don't pay for any part of the group. They just come for the free portion. So that's something you could do. Another easy way to get more exposure in a free group is to serve on a leadership team. Serving on a leadership team means more exposure. And if we're talking about a race to positive interactions that gets those people to trust you, this is a great way to do it because leaders often have more interactions with their members. They're the ones showing them where the stuff is and where to sign in and introducing them to people. And if you have a good meeting, you have people who are dedicated to welcoming new people in and finding a place where they can easily assimilate right into the middle of the action. Maybe if you're the president, people see your face more, they hear your voice, they hear your name more. That's more exposure. And more exposure just kind of gets you into that rapport stage. It's not going to build the trust and credibility by itself. I'm the president. Everybody should use me now that I'm the president. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying being the president means that people see you more and hear you more and more opportunities for those positive interactions and rapport building, which there are many episodes in this series, in this podcast, about how to build rapport and trust. So that's something you could do if there is no upgrade or paid option within a free group. Serve in a leadership role. If I had a client who was frustrated with competition, I would tell her that the interactions are unique to you. I would also tell her that there is plenty of work for all of us. I think we can sense fear in people. We can sense when people are networking from a place of fear. And we may not be able to put our finger on it, but our body, our subconscious knows and gives us cues. Oh, this person, I don't know. I don't know about this person. And it could be that you're coming from a place of fear. It means that you're not as patient. It means that you're trying to jump to the top floor of referrals before you have built rapport and earned the trust and credibility. So be patient and have a abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. This is something that I would recommend that you not do. If you are in a group with more than one of you, do not badmouth the other people in the group that do what you do in any way, shape, or form. Do not say negative things about them or even vaguely reference them in your pitch. Do not say things like, unlike my competition, I XYZ. What I really appreciate when I'm in groups that are open to all and there's more than one of an industry, I love it when I hear, we'll call it like an assisted living facility, and there's 3 people, each representing a different assisted living facility. I love it when person 1 stands up and talks a little bit about their assisted living facility, and then person 2, maybe 6 people later, stands up and says, I love what Mary said about the signs to know when it's time to start looking for a place for your loved one. She made a great point. And then that person goes into their own introduction or pitch. I love that because then I'm hearing right away, I can say, okay, she's coming from a place of abundance because she's recognizing the other person in the room and she has good things to say about the other person in the room who's doing what she does, which means that she's not afraid. And it means that she's not awkward around the other person who does the same thing that she does, which means that I don't have to be all unsure of interactions with her if the other person is nearby. It takes all of that out of the equation. On episode 53, Leah Rose Tangren talked about the yes and. Yes and. So in conversation, it's when someone brings up a topic and instead of shutting them down, you say yes and then you add something. And that's kind of a version of this when you're in your pitch. You can say, yes, I'm acknowledging the other assisted living person in this group, and here's the unique perspective that I bring. Like, you wouldn't say those words, but you would bring your unique perspective, because it's not a one size fits all for assisted living, especially assisted living. Like, two assisted living centers could be identical in features, but your mother may just jive a little bit more with one than the other, and nobody can really put their finger on why, and that's okay. So, from abundance, we come from abundance, and we're always tactful when we have other people who do what we do, because the whole room is going to make a judgment as to what kind of person you are, depending on how you treat the people in the room that do what you do. They're going to learn from that. You're going to be teaching them something. It's not neutral. So, best to have a positive attitude towards those people who are in the room with you that do what you do, because then you will teach others that you come from a place of abundance. Another guest on the podcast, Dirk Holcomb, episode 43, he comes from a place of abundance. Now, he is in an industry exclusive group. When he has people call him to schedule a possible inspection with him, he's a home inspector. He says, I tell them to go and get another quote from another home inspector. He says, I recommend that they do that, because then he says, when they pick me, I know they really are choosing me. So he's coming from a place of abundance. The people who come from abundance are those networkers who win. It's not so much revenue, it's relationship capital that they win that leads to that revenue. Here's the last little trick when it comes to being in the same room with people who do what you do. Well, not the last, because I just thought of another one. So try and sit 3 or 4 people down the line from them if you're moving straight from eating to your introduction time. That way, they don't hear from the photographer, one, stands up, says his or her thing, and then they hear from you and you're the photographer. If you can, try and leave some people in between you and the other people in the room that do what you do, so that there's a little bit of a break. Still, though, you can refer back to the photographer that went 3 or 4 people before you and say something positive about that photographer. It's a great way to show the room that you're coming from a place of abundance, not from scarcity. They don't have to be afraid to talk to you. If I had people who do exactly what I do in networking with me, which doesn't happen, it didn't happen when I networked on behalf of Window Cleaning Plus, and I still do a little bit of that networking on behalf of Window Cleaning Plus. It just doesn't happen where there's other window cleaners. I don't know why. I think it's a missed opportunity. And I don't really have people who do exactly what I do now either, like help people navigate networking or help people find a networking meeting to attend. There aren't people in the rooms I'm in that do that either. If there were, I would have a one to one with those people. I would have a one to one with the other window cleaner, and I would say, listen, we don't go to this city for commercial. This whole area of the city for us for commercial is a no-go, because we don't have enough work out there. So when the shop owner with 8 windows sends us an estimate request, we can't help them without charging a lot of money, and we don't like doing that. Do you go to this city? Well, yeah, I do. Thank you. Would it be okay if I sent you the people who wanted window cleaning in this area of the city? Would that be okay? Could I refer them to you? Because that would really help me out. You have that conversation with the person who does what you do, and we'll see how long they're actually a competitor. They are going to love you for this, and they will do everything they can to help you. It's not likely that they're going to look at you with animosity. If they will not have a one-to-one with you, that tells you a lot about them. It tells you, okay, we're not coming from the same place. Maybe they have a scarcity mindset. You still treat them with the utmost respect when you're in the room with them because other people are watching. So do not be tactless, but it does tell you, okay, they just don't have the same mindset. There may be ways that you and the other person who does what you do can work together. There probably is. If you both come to the relationship with openness, curiosity, wanting to help each other, then there should be a way that you guys could, at the very least, coexist in the room, probably even work together in some fashion. And then finally, remember that when you get uptight about your quote unquote competition in the room, you're forgetting that there's even more, if you think of it as competition, there's even more people who do what you do that aren't in the room. So that plumber that you would love to take uh, their their shots, you would love to take their company photos. And there's another photographer who does what you do. Remember that plumber, his brother might also be a brand photographer. And he may have met another brand photographer last week. So it's not just the people in the room. It could be that there's lots of other people that do what you do. They just don't happen to be in that room. So that's why we can't use that as any kind of roadblock for us. We can't. We can't be Cinderella saying, make my eyes brown because all the other people's eyes are blue and I want him to notice that I have brown eyes when you've got a completely different dress on. We can't be that person. We cannot come from a place of scarcity. We have to come from a place of abundance and patience. And we are powerful problem solvers. We have unique problems to solve. We have unique perspective that we bring to the interactions, and we get enough positive interactions with people. They will think of us. They will refer us. They will become our clients. They will become our raving fans. It's possible, even when there are people in the room that do what you do. Thank you so much for being a podcast listener. I very much appreciate the feedback I get when listeners say that they enjoy the content. And if you would be willing to leave a comment on Spotify, I would most appreciate that. You could even send me an email, Faithann at thenetworkerstourguide.com, and tell me what you thought of this episode or any episode. And finally, if you would like to be part of either my Networkers Tour Guide Facebook group, I'll put a link in the show notes. And then if you're local to Oklahoma City and you're looking for a platform where you can go in and on one calendar see where I would go if I could clone myself, see the events, and a discussion forum specifically for networking in Oklahoma City, and a learning tab where you can watch courses and learn even more about networking, about your introduction, about the energy that you bring to your introduction when you stand up to introduce yourself. If you want to watch videos of all of the organizers of every event that's on my calendar, if you want to be a part of all that, it's $65 for the entire year. And I would love to have you in Premium OKC Networking. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Go and network, my friend. You are a powerful problem solver. You have the dress that will stand out or the tuxedo that is unique to you. And no one can duplicate your interactions. So go and make those relationships work for you.
You've been listening to the Networkers Tour Guide podcast with Faithann Basor. Share this episode with a friend and be sure to come back next week for more networking tips and tricks from the Networkers Tour Guide.